At this point, there's not a whole lot that we don't know about the 2020 Corvette C8. With first order deliveries taking place around March of this year, we have confirmed many of the details that many of us have waited so long for. But with that being said, one of the very last unanswered questions has been, what does the full aero and rocker kit look like for the Corvette C8? For the very first time, Chevrolet has allowed us to order it from the factory, a full ground effects option. The option for the C8 is the ground effects kit in visible carbon fiber or painted carbon flash. And as you can imagine, it is not cheap. The options add $3,850 or $4,850 to your build depending on your choice. And that's not even all of the choices you have from Chevrolet. The carbon fiber grille insert is another $2,000, so adding carbon to the exterior of your car quickly adds up. But up until this point, we've not had the ability to see this option in person. As you're seeing right now, the online builder gives you an idea of what the option provides in terms of look, but it's still not the same as seeing actual photos. Thanks to Bear127, that has all changed. This awesome individual was able to snap some photos of the full ground effects kit that was fitted to a torch red Corvette C8. I will say that I wish there were some more photos given the significance of this, as well as I wish they were a bit better quality, but I will not complain too much. As you can see from the photos, we have several views of the full side rocker that runs the length of the side panel. Now, as I look at these photos, the first thing that came to my mind was being a bit underwhelmed, to be honest. Of course, this is completely my opinion, but for some reason, I just don't feel the photos reveal the look that I was hoping to see from the ground effects package. I will also add that the angles and lighting can make a big difference, so until I actually see it in person, I'm not going to give it my full opinion just based off these photos. But there is certainly a huge difference in look in terms of, say, you can see from renders of the ground effects that Chevrolet provides from their website in the photos that we see here. As I look at the photos further, I would guess that what we're looking at is the carbon flash painted kit, but the photos do make it hard to be 100% sure of this. I would guess if it was carbon fiber, we'd be able to tell, but lighting can make it difficult at points. One thing I do love about these photos is that it matches for the most part what my build will look like, so it gives me great perspective in terms of identical look. My 2020 Corvette will have the torch red exterior over the carbon flash wheels with bright red brake calipers. In addition, I have the carbon flash side blade. I just don't think that the side blade that's color matched to your body color looks nearly as good. The farther view we get from one of the photos shows the full kit, and I do think that this gives it its best look. I believe for the first time we also get a first look at the Fender Hashes that are available when building your C8. I'm not a huge fan of them personally, but each to their own. Most of you have probably caught on, but this is not the Z51 Corvette, as it doesn't have the Z51 spoiler attached to the rear. Nevertheless, this is awesome to finally get a peek into what you can expect from the kit that GM offers you. Now, I want to break down my thoughts on what are your options for anyone interested whether they should choose this option or not. As I've mentioned, my personal build does not have the ground effects kit checked. I did this because it's extremely expensive and I wanted to spend my money on other options, as well as the fact that it's an accessory, which means that it can be added to your car after it's been built. Items such as magnetic ride or the Z51 package cannot be added once your car is built, but accessories like the ground effects, high wing, and mirror caps can be changed after the fact. On top of this, we know there will be a slew of third-party vendors building high-quality carbon fiber exterior components. These companies will build many different looking side rockers, and I love the idea of figuring out which look I like best and then adding it to my Corvette at that time. The Corvette C6 I owned back in 2016 had no spoiler, and for about $350 I was able to add a ZR1 style carbon fiber hydro dipped spoiler, and it turned out fantastic. It's a Corvette, you will have a huge amount of aftermarket options, so just remember that. As I mentioned earlier, the side look of the rocker panel that GM makes for some reason just looks a bit off. It is certainly not terrible, but I feel like there's a lot going on with the side body lines. Then you just have this large rocker that sits directly in front of it. But I also mentioned that lighting and positioning of the camera can do crazy things with it on how the car looks. I am very anxious to see this kit on a Corvette C8 in person. But what are your all's thoughts on the new picks for the ground effects package? Have any of you ordered a car with it added? And if so, does this change your opinion? I've been following many of your comments, so I'm very curious how you all feel after seeing these new photos. As I went through the forums, I found that it's a fairly split feeling on the Aero kit. I saw many people applaud the kit, saying that they love the upgraded look, but many others said that they're super happy that they decided to keep it off of their order. So again, let me know below in the comments. Moving on from there, I do have some great news in terms of my Corvette C8. If you have been following my videos, you know that I received word that I was finally at a 3000 status from GM and that they had accepted my build. I now have an official build date of March 23rd, 2020. For months now, I've been worried that this date would be closer to say May or June, but as of now, it seems that production is set to begin and stay on schedule. My dealer has said that they would expect, if the timetable stay true, that I would have my Corvette ready for pickup right around the 1st of April, give or take a few days. It is hard to believe that I am within 3 months of taking delivery of my 2020 Corvette. For anyone new to the channel, I have been following this car for well over a year now, and it's really become the center stone for what my channel is built around. We are finally in the home stretch, and I have so many things to share with you all once I take delivery of my Corvette. I have very high expectations for it, and you all are going to get to see my real thoughts on the car, as well as if it lives up to those expectations. I'm also curious as to what you all would like to see in terms of content with my 2020 Corvette C8. I've been collecting comments from my subscribers for a while now, but please continue to let me know what you all want to see once I get the car, because I will make any type of content that my subscribers are looking for. The last thing I wanted to mention in today's video was over the C8R race car. Many of you have probably already seen the photos, but we have up close shots of the Corvette C8R. The engine bay shot is extremely cool, and you can actually see the industrial race car look of the engine bay that it gives off. The C8R was run at the Roar Before 24, which is the rehearsal for the IMSA WeatherTech Series Rolex 24 at Daytona, an endurance race that is coming later this month. The C8R had all eyes on it as it put up a 142.7 second time run. It even was able to push 170 miles per hour at Daytona's banked oval turns. Chevrolet will run 2 different C8Rs for the race, and it will be the first time ever that a mid-engine Corvette race car has been used. The C8R is already well received with huge acclamation from drivers and onlookers who saw the car run. Just to give you a bit of perspective on what the C8R can do, it is already 2.5 seconds quicker than its front engine planted predecessor when it first debuted, and the C7R turned out 2 Rolex 24 wins. 2.5 seconds is a lifetime in the race world and absolutely hints at the potential of this new platform change. For anyone who loves watching the C8 unfold, make sure you don't miss out on watching history be made with the race version of this Corvette. If you do want to watch the C8R debut, the Rolex 24 is Saturday, January 25th and ends Sunday, January 26th. Thank you all so much for checking out my video today. If you enjoyed it and found the new pictures helpful of the ground effects kit, make sure that you hit that like button, as it greatly supports my channel. Anyone new to the channel, think about hitting that subscribe button and joining our growing community. I have incredible content planned for this year once I do take delivery of my 2020 Corvette. Any other comments, make sure you drop them below. And as always, you all take care, and I'll see you next video.
C8R, the mid-engine Corvette, is coming on board next year. And here it is earlier doing some demonstration laps. There has been a lot of attention and a big buzz about this car.
This car looks mean, Townsend.
Especially when you
like the look of it.
Especially when you go limo tint on the windshield there. Talk about trying to keep things confidential for your competitors until it makes its debut. That's pretty cool. It must be hard to see, though, out of that thing, but it looks pretty sinister, no doubt.
And I guess they're going to reverse the colors on the 3 machine for next year. So this is actually the livery that the 4 car will run. Looks beautiful.